Okay, look, you know, if you're a student, it's a pretty cool time in your life because you're starting to realize what's important to you and what you want. Plus, you're young and you get all the futures ahead of you. And the best way to voice what's important to you is to vote.
So my advice to any university student, never mind your civic responsibility. Seeing as you're such a low priority in this country, you should show up and vote out of spite, if for no other reason.
Thing is, politicians can ignore you if you don't stand up and say, you know what, guys, we deserve better.
Believe me, there are 1 million students in this country. You show up and vote, elections, they'll never be the same again. Education will never be left off the agenda. And for all of you students out there who are living away from home for the first time, ignore all those Elections Canada ads that make it seem like you need quantum physics to vote.
Voting matters, and every vote counts.
In this country, you do not need to be registered in advance to vote. Men died on the beaches so you could vote. All you need to do is show up with some official-looking mail with your address on it, your student card, and your ID. Don't take no for an answer, and democracy is yours.
This is your election. The politicians are supposed to work for you, and this is your chance to be heard.
I'm a G, so you know what that means. We made it, hey, I'm the Rambo strike, baby. Must I remind you that your motherfucking boy. See, I'm the man, girlfriend, I ain't bragging. Man around here, baby. So you can test if you want, but it's something I think you ought to know. Yeah, hey, the people chose me, I'm a G, so you know what that means. Hey, I'm the Rambo bomber, must I remind ya? See, I'm the man, girlfriend, I ain't bragging, I'm just saying. So you can test if you want, but it's something I think you ought to know. Hey, Mr. Unsigned Hype, check the MySpace site. Hip-hop would be dead if I ain't know how to write. Yeah, hey, the people chose me, I'm a G, so you know what that means. Hey, I'm the Rambo bomber, must I remind ya? See, I'm the man, girlfriend, I ain't bragging, I'm just saying. So you can test if you want, but it's something I think you ought to know. Yeah, hey, the people chose me, I'm a G, so you know what that means. We made it, hey, I'm the Rambo strike, baby. Must I remind ya? So you can test if you want, but it's something I think you ought to know. It feels so good. Vote for your boy, YB the rock star.
Today I don't feel like doing anything.
I'm voting.
I'm voting. Moi je vote. I'm voting. I'm voting. I'm voting.
I'm voting.
I'm voting because I deserve accountability. For Aboriginal self-government.
I'm voting for sustainable agriculture.
I'm voting in the hopes that we can eradicate poverty.
Et moi je vote parce que l'éducation est un droit.
I'm voting because I have $35,000 student debt. That doesn't really sit too good with me.
I'm voting for all the temporary migrant workers who can't. And that's half my family.
Women are chatty enough. I'm voting so I never have to see a woman in a leaders' debate.
I'm voting for women's rights because we don't just need more women in politics, we need feminists in politics who actually understand and care about our issues and listen to women's voices.
Because Canadians care about arts funding.
I'm voting because both of my parents retired this year and I care about the Canada Pension Plan.
Moi je vote parce que j'apprécie les valeurs démocratiques.
I'm voting because I am not the ethnic vote.
I'm voting for environmental sustainability because it's us who have to pick up the pieces in the future.
Polar bears.
I'm voting because I have more than 5 questions for my political leaders.
I'm voting for healthcare because even one of our party leaders is fighting cancer.
I'm voting for the right to bear arms.
I'm voting because only 1 in 3 Canadians between the ages of 18 and 24 voted in the last election.
I'm voting because I want to be able to vote on campus.
I'm voting for minority and refugee rights.
I'm voting because everyone has the right to a voice.
I'm voting because the Canadian Senate killed a bill that would send life-saving drugs to the developing world.
I'm voting for queer rights.
I'm voting because I've got the power!
I've got the power! Hey, yeah!
Right under the whip, I snap attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Feeling like a double rhyme double on a heavily level, bang the bass.
There's a lot of issues we didn't address, and that's why you should vote on May 2nd.
I'm voting on May 2nd.
I am voting on May 2nd.
I'm voting on May 2nd.
Vote May 2nd. Oh, that works twice.
Hashtag vote on May 2nd.
I'm voting May 2nd.
I'm voting May 2nd, aren't you?